Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Peridiam, and this is going to be a first, and hopefully not a last. The Amazing Race 31 just finished, and I'm feeling all sorts of giddy, so even though I didn't intend to make this video, I've got that special kind of feeling pumping through my veins, and you know what? Screw it. Let's take at least a moment and talk about The Amazing Race Season 31. Before I say anything else, I want to quickly say that this is going to be a video rife with spoilers for this season, particularly the finale, so if you haven't watched it yet, just go watch it. It's a fun season and worth your time if you're a fan of the show, or even if you're new. Anyway, spoilers.
This is insanity thinking that I can control this elephant. It does what it wants. Everybody's passing us. We're in last place. I can't end on an elephant. I love you too much.
I am writing this review right after the finale aired, which isn't something that I usually do. Usually for my Big Brother and Survivor reviews, I wait at least 24 hours, if not longer, to digest the season and marinate on my thoughts before jumping into the creation process for another video. But you know what? I'm not waiting for this one because it's going to be a different kind of video. I guess maybe more like a rapid fire review is more apt of a title. I am currently in this very happy afterglow of a place where a finale of a new season of one of my favorite shows just wrapped up, and I'm sitting on my sofa with my laptop next to me basking in a state of zen, browsing the internet, reading your guys' reactions live on Twitter, Reddit, wherever, and all of a sudden it's 45 minutes later and I still haven't moved, and my mind is still on the finale and the end results and everything we just watched for the past 3 months. Yeah, I very much enjoyed The Amazing Race 31. In the preseason, I went ahead and made 3 story of videos about one team from each show: Janelle and Brittany, Corinne and Eliza, and then Colin and Christie. And I released the CNC video last in the day because they're one of my favorite teams of the entire franchise, and to see them come back was like a bizarre moment of fan fiction coming to life on my screen. I had to blink twice and slap myself with a broken oxtail to make sure I wasn't dreaming. So to see them win after all this time is a feeling I won't forget as a big fan. Not only that, but to see them transform 15 years in the making. What a story arc.
There were a handful of teams that were in the same boat as we were, looking for a cab. There's so many parts of this game that are out of your control.
On season 5, there would have been a lot more profanity. I don't know. It would have been bad.
I have a suggestion. I think we should all hold hands and literally just feel the love of the universe, and you'll feel it come into this group.
Are we having a life coach moment?
Yes, we are.
And Christie is now the first and only woman in Amazing Race US history to beat 2 all-guy teams in the final leg. Not to mention, Colin and Christie said that this season was way more difficult than last time, and after that finale, yeah, I can see why. I need to let you guys know that I am way more critical of Survivor and Big Brother than I am of The Amazing Race, which means that while I get very critical in my reviews of those 2 shows, with this one, I kind of treat the race as more of a comfort food where I just kind of sit back, relax, and outside of the final 20 minutes of the finale, I take it pretty easy. So I will quickly say that I wasn't a fan of the head-to-head challenges all season. It's not a twist I want to see back, and I really don't think that they've added a single thing to the race in any appearance. That's probably the biggest criticism I have of the season. Also, another big one would be just the imbalance of the teams that are racing, with this season basically being like a fans versus favorites kind of cast. Despite a shocking first boot with Art and JJ, we saw the Survivor and Big Brother teams get mostly steamrolled by the stronger Amazing Race teams, who are seriously in a league of their own. Take note, not a single Survivor or Big Brother team won a leg of the race this whole season. That being said, this has to be the most impressive composition of final 3 teams as far as stats and records go, with Tyler and Corey setting the record for most leg wins in the entire race's history with 9, beating the previous record of 8, only to then have Colin and Christie tie that record in the end, also with Leo and Jamal breaking Rachel Riley's record that she set this season with the most legs ever run.
You are team number 1!
Never give in.
Give me 10!
1, 2, 3.
The curse of leg 11 is officially gone.
Even though the Afghanimals kind of crumbled in the end, I do want to say that it's pretty cool, at least in my opinion, that they beat their curse of 4th place, let alone with a 1st place finish on that leg. For what it's worth, you guys, and Leo looks so crushed in the finale, but I just want to say, I think it's definitely a story with a good ending, you know, silver lining, even if it wasn't the greatest possible outcome for them. Tyler and Corey upped their ante for a 3-peat, which I gotta think is in the cards down the line, right? First they get 3rd, then they get 2nd, then they get the money. But really, like, what's left for them to do? Again, I enjoyed their personal story arcs all season as well, even if they just barely missed the big payoff. Colin and Christie, whew, I'm in awe. To be the only team to return to the race from the classic seasons since season 11, the first All-Stars, 15 years and a ton of self-reflection. Their story arc was beautiful. About as beautiful as you will ever get on The Amazing Race. Poetry in motion. Such a strong team all around. They have never gotten less than 4th place on any leg of the season since episode 2 of The Amazing Race 5. That's crazy. That's also the record. And to think that all the way back in season 5, they were just this close to winning. They were just one really good taxi cab driver away from the win, and they just barely missed it to come back 15 years later and to pull it off, to get first in some really, really impressive maneuvers throughout the whole season this season, to have Colin at the end of their story calming Christie in that taxi in the finale, to then have Christie calming Colin when they were building the drums. What an epic finish.
Christie, I love her so much. And that's all that's important to me, is Christie.
There is nobody in this world I would rather spend my life with.
If she can continue to put up with me, then I think we'll be together forever.
I am also personally more a fan of the travel drama between tasks, which I don't know if that's usual for race fans, but I'm a big fan of Big Brother, so I guess that element kind of bleeds through. I enjoyed the Riley sisters' feud with Nick and Vic, as well as the sharp and sassy nature of Corinne and Eliza. I mean, I made a whole video on them, so it goes without saying. It definitely is a shame that none of these teams lasted a little longer, like Janelle and Brittany, two of my favorites on Big Brother, as well as Chris and Brett, who really were the underdogs representing Survivor the whole time, which I thought was another fun underdog story that I don't think people necessarily expected going into the season, and yet that's usually what happens. That's when they're the best, is when you don't see it coming.
Tell me what to do next!
Can't say anything.
All right, I'm coming down.
Oh my God.
We saw a few new countries, Uganda and Laos, which was cool, and guess what? I am fairly confident that season 32 is going to be on its way, hopefully sooner than later. Regardless though, while season 31 may not be the most perfect season of the show in the history of this franchise, it was still one of my favorite competitive reality TV experiences, particularly because of the storylines with many of these teams, as well as just getting to see Big Brother, Survivor, and The Amazing Race all together. I know that's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but it's very much mine given what I'm doing here with this channel, so yeah.
Oh, kitty.
An omen.
Come here. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Leo's gonna die.
Oh my God.
I've never seen him this excited.
Overall, that is going to be my quick synopsis, a rapid-fire review of my thoughts on this season. I am still basking in the glow of the ending, even over an hour later since the finale, sitting in this same spot, haven't moved. Oh man, I'm trying to process everything that just happened. This is one of the reasons why I watch these shows. It's kind of like being at the peak of a mountain after a really good and fun and sometimes difficult journey. I guess it's time to head back down again. What did you guys think about this season of The Amazing Race? Were you happy with the final outcome? I certainly was, but either way, regardless of what I think, my name is Peridiam. I'm saying thank you guys so much for watching this little video. I hope you enjoyed letting me talk for a second. Don't forget to calm yourself down before you yell at your taxi cab driver on the way to your next task, and I will see you in the next one once I go full Zen mode, because after 15 long years, the ox is finally fixed.
It feels good to come back and run the race with a level of awareness and a broader perspective, and just have such a different experience of the whole race. I'm so proud of you.
I'm so proud of you.
I know. I feel it.
They're team number one. They are team fun. They rhyme to Dubai and they are number one.
We won some cash and we came in first place. Team Fun has proven they deserve to be in the Amazing Race.